What's up, everybody? I'm Kyle Carlson, and this is the Rollback BMX Podcast, the #1 BMX podcast in the universe, according to me. Today's guest is Aura Jones III, perhaps better known to you as Trey Jones. Trey's one of the most unique guys in the BMX game today, and he discusses his thought process on coming up with new things to do on his bike, leaving Colt to ride for Sabrosa, organizing and running Swamp Fest, and even marrying Scotty Kramer's sister. So sit back and listen up. This is the Rollback BMX Podcast with Florida's favorite BMX rider, Trey Jones. Mr. Trey Jones, how are you?
Fantastic.
How
are you? How are you?
I'm good, man. You're probably better than I am because we're in Huntington Beach, and I find it hot, and I feel like I had to get up early, and you're 3 hours ahead and live in Florida, so I feel like you've got me beat on both fronts.
Yeah, it was a little toasty, but at least it's like cold in the shade. You know what I mean? Like at least like in Florida, it's just hot no matter where you go, like sunshine or shade or anything. Here it's like, yeah, it's hot in the sun, but then once you're in the shade, it's cool. So it's awesome.
Get caught with the occasional breeze, and all of a sudden it's legit cold.
Yeah.
How you feeling out there?
Okay, I guess. Like it's a little difficult because like I don't really like ride contests too much, you know? So it's like I'm not like it's like a snake fest out there, and like instead of me like feeding off the energy of like, oh man, I need to get it running, I'm just more like, dude, screw this, sucks. Like I'm not like trying, I'm not fighting for a run, you know what I mean? So but it's been good. It's been good. I've just been trying to like, I don't know, everyone's going really, really high and fast, so I'm just trying to not do that. It's
the type of event where there is a collision that's really, really bad.
Yeah, and it's usually like two guys that are like built with muscle. Like if you have a Larry and someone else.
Larry in the concrete or something.
Yes, yeah.
That was rough. And it's like two trains, but like a train not hitting a brick wall, a train hitting another train going towards it quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
I always wondered why you didn't really ride these Vans events, seeing as how you ride 4 Vans, you ride Bulls really good. Is it just because you're just not that into competing?
Well, I always ride the HB events, and I just don't do good enough to qualify for the rest of them. Like that's what it comes down to. I don't ever place high enough to like qualify for another one, and like I've had the opportunity to go to Australia to do like the open qualifiers and stuff like that. But like, dude, I'm so stressed out and so busy with like everything going on. I honestly don't have time to go all the way to Australia to maybe have a chance at maybe getting in. You know what I mean? Like it's, unless I know for a fact that like I'm actually in the contest. Like if I flew all the way to Australia and I didn't make it in, I would be like, this sucks.
I see dudes there that are like there on their own dime.
Exactly. And
it's like, man, that's so expensive to fly out there and get a hotel, not even factoring in time and the worth of time.
Yeah.
It's like, man, like you're probably $2 or $3 grand invested in coming out here and getting 31st.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I see guys at the same guys at like every single one. I'm like, dude, you must be dropping heavy cash to try to quote unquote make it. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you're trying to make it.
And this is coming from the dude, one of the few guys out there who gets a paycheck from Vans. Yeah.
I sound like such an asshole. No, these guys are trying to make it. I'm just sitting back and getting paid.
No,
man.
But I think it speaks volumes to this whole idea of making it. I'm going to show up, I'm going to do good in the contest, and I'm going to get paid. And it's
I think that they don't, these guys, these certain guys, and, you know, not talking shit on them because, like, obviously, like, I understand it. Like, you know, they want to ride BMX for a living. Like, I get that. Like, I get that. But I don't think that they know, like, okay, you can work your ass off, like, the next few years for, like, $250 a month. Like, is it worth it? Like, is that, like, to you, is that worth it? You know what I mean? Like, unless you're, like, an actual, like, super legit pro, like, you're not going to make a living. And I think it, like, that's just, like, that's what kind of sucks is that, like, dude, like, don't work so hard for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, if you're enjoying it and you just want to go out there and ride, hell yeah, man, go do it. But like, if you're going out there like, I'm gonna try to make it, like, dude, I'm sorry. You know, like,
people talk about this with society in the United States, where they talk about the disappearing middle class. That's Donald Trump's big thing, is bringing back the middle class. Now it's either the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. And I feel like BMX kind of mirrors that idea. I feel like for a long time there was a middle class in BMX where guys could make a couple grand a month, and they're not necessarily an A-list dude. But now I feel like it's dudes that either make $500 a month or less combined, or your couple dudes, your Andersons, your Chad Curley, your dudes making 6 figures. There's very, 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 very little in between.
Well, from what I've seen, you know, it's all about like your riding style. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're, let's take Chad or Dennis or one of those guys. Like, listen, like, if you're, like, number one, if you're in the X Games, you're automatically on another level because you're appealing to all those energy drink companies. If you got the energy drink sponsor, you're good. Like, just the energy drink sponsor will, at least for me, I have a cheap style of living, but like that's enough to live on for a whole entire month. And then once you get the rock star, then it's like, oh, here at your rock star, like we should pay him for this, you should pay him for this, and then just like the ball starts kind of rolling. You know what I mean? Like the days of the Garrett Burns, you know, and the guys like that are just like complete badasses, you know, and they get sponsored because they're badass is like kind of gone. You know what I mean? It's either guys that are YouTube stars that are making six figures or guys that are going out there and doing Smith Nose bars and making six figures. You know what I mean? So it's, and I just try to fit the middle. Like I you know what I mean? Like I try to like fill that void. I try to fill like the middle void where like, yo, I ride everything and I just do my shit, and like if my sponsors are stoked on it, then they're stoked on it. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to like be any type of rider, or like I don't make a shit ton of money. I try to live cheaply. Like I have, you know, a simple little house and I don't pay a lot of money, and I just kind of I live my simple existence. I don't have a bunch of crazy cars and, you know, stuff like that. So it's,
yeah, I think it's kind of to each their own, you know, and I think you're kind of a rare example, but I understand why, because you're one of the few guys out there that you do your own thing, you do things differently, you look different, you ride different, and I think a lot of people look the same. Like if somebody's like, all right, who's another guy who's a lot like Trey Jones? I'd have to sit back and think, and I wouldn't come up with like an exact answer. Yeah. Maybe like, I don't know, like maybe like kind of like Colt Fake or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like digging deep, and even then it's so different. Whereas like a lot of these guys riding X Games and whatnot, it's like, well, show me a guy like Brandon Lupus. Okay, there's Nick Bruce. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like they're doing a lot of the same tricks.
And like it's, I don't know. Like for me, it's like what I do is not difficult. Like I'll be honest. Like I'm not the greatest bike rider out there, and I just don't really understand. Like for me, like it's just been appealing to be cool. Like it's just like it's appealing to me to have like flavor. Like that's just the way. I don't know. Like for me, it's not like I'm like, yo, oh my God, I need to be different. I need to do this. I need to wear this. It's just I just do what I like, and it turns out to be different. And I never understood standing on the deck and looking down at my clothes and being like, well, I look just like everyone else. Like, if that was me, like, I would be bothered by that. Like, I would be like, damn it, man. Like, this dude looks just like I do, and he's doing the exact same tricks as me. But at the same time, like, I feel like BMX rewards that. Like, I feel like the industry, like, rewards, like, people being the same. You know what I mean? And so I think people see that, and they're like, oh, this is what you do. This is what you do. You wear this. You wear like the flat brim hat. You wear the sponsor t-shirt. You wear the Dickies. You wear these shoes. You ride 4 pegs, a free coaster, and you're good. You're set. Pro life. You know, like, and for me, it's like I would like if anyone even remotely does something that's similar to me, like I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I used to do a lot of ETs. Whenever I ride, and then as soon as people started doing them, I'm like, all right, cool, I'm done. Nope, not doing that. Like not doing that because it's like I don't want to be like someone else. You know what I mean? I don't want to go out there and be like, damn, like he rides just like Trey Jones. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. And you know what I mean? Like it's not what I'm doing is difficult. You know what I mean? Like what I'm doing isn't difficult. I just enjoy doing it, and I enjoy people's reaction to it. You know what I mean? If someone's like, dude, that was cool, and I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's cool. Like at these Vans events, like everyone out there is crushing it. Like they're all doing 15-foot airs, doing crazy huge downside tail ups, blah blah blah, all this stuff, and I'm like, that's awesome, but I'm not gonna do that. Like I'm not gonna do that because I'm not gonna go out there and try my ass off to do a 6-foot air when Larry goes out there and does a 15-foot air because I'm like,
and it's like natural.
Yeah,
like
I'm like, why am I gonna go out there and try to ride exactly like everyone else to maybe make the finals?
Yeah.
Like what? I don't know. That just makes sense in my head. Like that just. I don't know. It's not like I try to do it. It just makes sense. Like,
well, even like today, you did like that front pedal grind across the spine.
Yeah.
And like that's one of the tricks that I remember from practice today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like not that it was the hardest or anything, but I saw about 500 big tabletops.
Yeah.
They were beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, and not taking away from what anyone else does. Like,
yeah,
they're all killing it. They're doing their shit, and that's awesome. You know what I mean? But like, I just enjoy like trying to pick out the weird obstacles in the course and be like, damn, like, okay, if this was just a skate park and I was here riding by myself, like, what would I want to do? And I'm like, oh, that spine's pretty cool. You can grind across it. You know what I mean? No one else has done that. Even better. Like, I'm trying to hit some stuff that's different. You know what I mean? And like, and even if it's not stuff that's like crazy, like if I can just get like a laugh out of someone, like, oh, hey man, that was cool. Like, you got over that thing and you did that. And I'm like, cool, hell yeah. Like, that's all I want. Like, that's all I want, because I remember growing up that like whenever I watched videos, like, yeah, there was a million different pros that were always going out there, and they're all sending it and doing stuff. But I love seeing like one clip of Matt Behringer, like, oh, he did that one backflip. He didn't make finals. He probably ate shit the rest of his run, but he did that one trick that was cool, and I remember that. Like, I don't remember, I mean, nothing against Van or anything like that, but I didn't remember Van's winning run. You know what I mean? Like, I don't remember stuff like that.
You don't remember the big crazy over ice. You remember the weird Matt Behringer flip to sprocket to fakie.
Yeah, or the crazy line where Ruben did like the wall ride pull out to pegs on the thing, and it was just like, what? Oh my god! Like, or Mike Aiken just doing a straight invert over his spine. Like, I remember like. I want to give kids like those images. Like, I want to try to portray that, because it's like Instagram and stuff like that is so instant. And like, don't get me wrong, like, I love Instagram. I post shit all the time. Like, I love it. It's awesome. But like, I don't know. I feel like I try to have some heart. Like, I just try to have like some type of soul to my writing, and I don't know. That's just what I was attracted to, and I want kids to have the same thing towards me. Like, I want them to be like, damn, that was cool that he did that. It was different, and that's all I try to do. Like, I'm not trying to be out there like everyone else.
But I think that mirrors a lot of life, though. I think like if you look at music you like, music I like as well, like a lot of bands you like that I know of, and a lot of bands I like that you may or may not know of, probably a lot of it's 3-chord bullshit.
Yeah,
and it's simple. It's simple, and it's fun and fast,
Yeah.
and you don't think about it. And you look at cars, just like a regular ass car, like, oh, cool, man, I don't need this this crazy rocket ship looking thing. Like, I think there's some beauty in some beauty in the simplicity, where it's just like, kind of keep it simple, man. Like, don't complicate it, We don't need 6 battling guitar solos going on at once.
Yeah,
just
but
hit me with 3 power chords and let's have a beer.
and don't get me wrong, like, I love all types of music like that, you know what I mean? And it's just you can't help what you're attracted to, and that's why like I don't try to like put down other people, because I'm like, I see someone that's dressed just like someone else, and I'm like, you know what, like, that dude's stoked on what he's doing. Like, he loves looking just like everyone else. Do I like respect it and I'm into it? No, but like, I understand it. I understand, like, there's a reason they call it being normal. Like, there's a reason for the term normal. It's because you're normal. You're just like everyone else. And like, I always was infatuated with not doing that. Like, I love being a minority. I love being in minority and be like, yo, dude, you're weird. Like, what's wrong with you? Why do you like that? And I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome. Like, I want to break away from that, like, pro BMX mold. Like, I wanted, like, when people were like, oh, YouTube's lame, I want to do a YouTube channel. Like, I just want to, like, I want to do, or people are like, oh, I hate when people post a bunch of Instagram videos. Boom, a million Instagram videos, just because it's all about what you do, because people are so normal. It's like they only post just riding videos, and they tag their sponsors and hashtag their sponsors, and like, got a few clips today, here's what I did at the skate park, and it's like a feeble manual hanger and then Smith nose bar, and it's like, for me, like, watching that is just boring, and I just want to I want to show kids that you can do whatever you want. Like, you can go ride over a bottle out in the street and that's an Instagram clip. It doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can do whatever you want. Like, it's freestyle, and that's what's so awesome about it. Like,
did you ever listen to that band? There's like an 80s metal band. The name is Jackal, and one of the instruments is chainsaw.
I've never heard of that. That sounds amazing, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because it's every song, but it's literally just one of the guys in the band plays the chainsaw.
There's a band called Jug Jug, and all they do is they just make noise with their mouth. They just go ja 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 ja, and then one guy does drums and another guy does with their mouth.
Damn, that's badass.
That's all they do. It's awesome. Yeah, hell yeah.
You said we were talking about going to Australia. You said you just have a lot of stuff going on. What are you busy with?
Dude, just constantly stuff. So this
is it real busy or is it BMX busy? There's a lot of BMX busy.
Well, it comes and goes.
I mean, in the sense of a lot of BMX riders like to think they're busy, but when it comes to like comparing it to real life, they're not busy.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. Like, my shit, like, for me, like, I love being home. I love being home and like having like my time to myself. Where like So first off, I did Swamp Fest.
Yeah,
that like took up that was like physical labor for the first 3 months.
Like a quarter of the year.
Yeah, that's like that. And that like So, like, I was working my ass off 7 days a week doing that, like, physical, hard-ass labor every single day, and I pulled it off, and, like, I was like, oh my god, dude, I'm so exhausted. And it was, like, 3 weeks later, okay, I'm going to Arizona for a filming trip. I go to Arizona, I get hurt, I'm stressed out because I didn't get enough clips, I go home, I'm home for 2 weeks, I get healthy enough, I go on the Atlanta trip. The Atlanta trip's 2 weeks long, I'm hurt through the most of it, I'm trying to get as much stuff as I can, I kind of pull it off, I come home, I'm home for a week, then we go to New Jersey, we visit Scotty and them, and for Kelsey's family. I come home, then I'm home for 1 week, I go to Woodward for a week, come home for 3 days, go back to Woodward for the Huntington Beach contest, then go back to New Jersey for some stuff, then come home, I'm home for 2 weeks, and now I'm here. So, yeah,
and
busy.
That's all year.
That's busy.
That's
like,
all year. Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's busy, you know? Like, so, yeah, it is. Like, and it's hard because, like, whenever, like, I at least for me, like whenever I'm like overly stressed or like whenever I'm not like feeling my best, it affects my riding.
Yeah.
Like I lose like I'll get to a spot and I'll be like, I'm like so frazzled about like, oh, my hand kind of hurts and this and this and this that I can't like perform. I can't like figure out something to do and I can't figure out like I just can't function, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, I need to be, like, in a good mental... And I feel like a lot of people are like that. Like, you have to be in a good mental state and be like, hell yeah, I'm about to ride. I'm going to do this. This is going to be awesome to get a good product. You know what I mean? And on top of that, doing Instagram videos, you got to be posting Instagrams constantly. And, so yeah, man. I mean, it's stressful, but like at the same time, it's like my sponsors are stoked because then at the end of the year, I can be like, "Yo, I did this," and then they're like, "Hell yeah, like let's do more stuff next year," you know. So it's a lot, you know, but I'm stoked. Like, there's a lot of guys that just sit at home and wait for a trip to happen. You know what I mean? Like, and even when I am home, I'm like constantly doing stuff. I'm like working on my ramp. I'm filming videos. I'm trying to going out looking for spots. So it's like, I'm never off the clock. You know what I mean? I'm never off the clock. Like, oh, I'm going to California. I need to hit up Kyle. Maybe we could do a podcast. I need to hit up Jeff Z. Maybe we can do something there. Like, you know, and I'm trying to like, I need to like take advantage of everything I got. And,
maximize your time.
Yeah, and that's called being a professional. Like that's trying to be a professional. You know what I mean? And trying to keep the sponsors happy, like doing what I can, you know, and like doing the Vans thing. Like, yeah, okay, maybe it's not my favorite thing in the world, but I know it means the world to Jerry Batters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to see me out there busting my ass for the contest, like he's stoked on that. He doesn't care if I get first or last. Like, as long as I'm here and I'm making an effort and I'm trying as hard as I can, he's psyched, and that's all I care about. If they're psyched, then I'm psyched. You know, so
who keeps your bills paid? Shadow, Sabrosa, Vans?
Yeah.
Just the three?
Yeah, just there's a three.
Do you rep anybody else, or that isn't?
No, that's just it for right now. I mean, I rode for Dan's until they went under.
That's right. Yeah. What about is Band still doing anything?
No, I don't really do much with them.
Okay, but they still exist. Just your.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a group of guys in Orlando. It's not really like a thing, you know. It's just kind of like they do their thing, and you know.
Is it still through Sparky's?
Yeah.
Okay. What? How did that transition go down? The Sabrosa thing. I think it's a great fit. I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner without even talking to you about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people thought that. You know,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were like, oh, like when I left Colt, they were like, oh, he's going to Sabrosa. Like, that makes sense. You know what I mean?
It was funny
and
because
that's good.
I was reading like comments like in the forum on Vital.
Yeah.
And the forum's a lot of kids that aren't super informed.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of it's not all that. There's a lot of guys that know what they're talking about,
yeah.
a lot of older guys and whatnot.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like sponsorship speculation and stuff, it's a lot of like, oh, he's off this, he's gonna be on Fiend, and it's like, no, dude, Fiend sponsors like 4 dudes and they're a tight knit group of homies. You know, they don't add people. But like with you, it was like, oh, where's Trey gonna go? And like all these random like
really
children,
crazy.
Sabrosa.
Yeah, it was it was good, man. You know, I mean, the other day I turned 26, and it's like I'm getting older, and I know that riding doesn't last forever.
Yeah.
Like I'm not an idiot. Like, yeah, I maybe have like another 10 years, if that. Like that's like the max. You know, I mean, like if I can get that'd be awesome. You know, but so you know, I'm thinking about what am I gonna do with my future, and obviously, like I live like less than a mile away from the Sparky's warehouse, and I've known Ronnie B my whole life, and I have a really close relationship with Sparky's, but it was always cool because I was like, okay, I ride for Shadow, but then I have I ride for a brand out on the West Coast in California, Colt. And it was always good because I would come out here, we would do the Vans events, we'd go film, and it was always a really great thing, and I was involved since day one, and we were super involved with the brand, and it was awesome, man. Like I loved every single second of it, and it was great. But I always knew that Sparky's where I was going to end up just because of geography. Like I live 1 mile from Sparky's. I've known Ronnie my whole life. Obviously, if I need a job, I'm going to go there, you know, and that just makes sense. And So like I started thinking, I was like, man, I need to start thinking about what I'm gonna do. And then I was like, I don't want to wait until I'm like 30 and be like, hey, can I be on Sub Rosa? And then be like, well, you're 30,
kind of on the downturn of your career.
Yeah. Like I wanted to be like, I'm still doing a lot of stuff, so I wanted to be like, I'm appealing to them. You know what I mean? So I went to Ronnie and Ryan and I was like, hey guys, this is the deal. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my life. Obviously, I want to be with you guys, and they were just like, yeah, 100%. For sure. Like, what do we gotta do? Like, what should we do? And it was like super professional. And then I talked to Robbie at Battle of Hastings last year, and I just kind of told him, I was like, yeah, man, I was like, here's the deal. Like, I'm getting older. I don't want to ever put you in a weird situation where you have to question how old I am and what I'm worth and stuff like that. And I think the best opportunity for me is just to go 100% Sparkies, And I was like, I'm not going to go ride for Kink. I'm not going to ride for United. I'm not going to go ride for another brand just to get a better deal. I'm just strictly going 100% Sparkies so that whenever that day comes, it's a lot easier. And that maybe I can be a Sub Rosa team manager. Maybe I could do something with Sub Rosa, and just to where I'm 100% Sparkies and then it's easy, And he was like, yeah, dude, 100%. Like, he's like, I'm so stoked that you thought of that and that you're thinking about your future. And he was stoked, man. And it was awesome. Like, he was like, well, when do you want to do it? Like, when's good for them? Like, well, we have these new bikes coming in. Maybe we should wait till the beginning of the year and then we can just do that. And we can all, I'll stop my pay then. They can pick up here. And it was like, it was super professional, and it was the way it should be done, and I feel like a lot of people in Brit, like every time I see someone, they're like, so what happened with Sub Rosa? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, they're like, well, like, what, you have fallen out with Robbie? No, I just saw him like literally 2 minutes ago and I hung out the whole time and it's all good. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like this weird thing. Like, it was a very professional, like the way it should be, man.
Well, they did like that like farewell video.
Yeah.
And I think that right there, even if they don't know you and don't know Robbie, that means shit's good.
Yeah.
There's no farewell video and shit falls apart.
No.
And I think that's huge, man. I think that's on Robbie's behalf. It shows he really gives a fuck about you.
Yeah, he's professional. He's an actual businessman. He's not gonna like. He's just legit. Like, and so is Ronnie. Like, they're both like. That's why I've been so fortunate to ride for two brands that like are the dudes in BMX that actually care. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's not like, it's not like they're going for the biggest name in the sport. They're not doing this. Like, they're like, no, listen, like, this is our group. This is what we're gonna do, and they've always came through. Every single promise, they've always came through, and I have nothing but great things to say about both those dudes. Like, they're the best, and they still work together. They still work together all the time. Ronnie and Robbie talk all the time still, and they're like, oh, what do you got going on? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we're doing this video with Trey. Oh man, that's sick. Like, and that just shows that they're like legit professionals.
I think that's how you have to do things, man. And it's weird when people get overly competitive in this small industry. And I deal with it on the media sometimes when other media outlets are weird about stuff. And it's like, dude, there's not going to be a situation where you guys are getting rich and I'm burning.
We're all in this together. Like if I'm going down, you're going down. We're all
like
screwed,
if you're and even to like a rider, it's like if your paycheck's getting smaller, that means the amount of money advertising wise that your brand was paying me is getting smaller too.
We're all in this. We're all feeling it.
So
it's not just one person.
No, man, like Robbie and Ronnie talking, it's like I guarantee they see the same trends. I guarantee they want each other to do good because there's not going to be a situation where all of a sudden Sub Rosa frames are just selling out like crazy and Colt frames can't move. It's like frames are booming or frames are sitting.
Exactly. And it's and like they talk all the time, and like you said, they want to see what's trending. They're like, hey, what do you guys think about this? What do you think of this new video that came out? What are you guys doing for your YouTube stuff? Are you guys trying to keep? And they talk, and they're professional BMX businessmen, which there is not very many of them out there. You know what I mean?
And it's funny too because you look at the Sparkies brands and you look at what Robbie has going on at Colt, and those guys talk. But you can tell they each have their own identity. The brands aren't mistaken for each other.
No.
Some brands out there I kind of blur together. But like everything going on at Sparky's, everything going on at Colt, to me, the one thing they had in common was you.
Yeah.
And even then, it was like pretty clear that you're on a bright orange Colt frame with all shadow parts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So are you essentially just a Sparky's rider? Still, you don't have a job there, do you?
No. I just ride. I mean, I go there sometimes to help out. Like if they get a container in, I'll help them out with that stuff. Or like if he needs some shelves built in the back, I'll. But no, I don't work a 9 to 5 there at all. No.
I mean, in the sense of, I guess it's probably good though. If they don't, and I'm willing to bet they do, because I know those guys, they should be leaning on you for input a lot.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like they definitely they're like. I mean, they definitely ask me for everything. Like they think about every decision that's made. I mean, no, I don't want to say every decision because that's not right. But like, they definitely value my opinion. They value my opinion, and I'm definitely like a key player. But like everyone that rides for, like, you know, with Simone and Mark and Matt and Jerice, like we're all like, it sounds so cliche because everyone says, oh, we're a family, blah, blah, blah. But like, it really is. Like those are my dudes. You know what I mean? Like those are my guys, and like they all come stay at my house, and it's like a cool thing. You know what I mean? And we don't try to be like, oh, it's our crew. It's, you know, we're the boys. Like we just do our thing, you know? Like it's, so yeah, they value me a lot, and I appreciate it, you know what I mean? Like Ronnie's done so much for me, and so has Robbie. Like they both have, and it's awesome, man. Like it's super rad.
Have you seen Robbie many times, or is this kind of one of the first times?
I saw him yesterday at practice.
Is that the first time you've seen him?
No.
Okay.
And then I came out to a Vans trip with Sean Ricani. Oh, that was in the mix.
Oh, yeah,
Me and Sean did a Vans trip.
Was that when you like went to the mountains?
Yeah. So that was in the mix, all that stuff. But yeah, we came out, and then me and him went out and had dinner one night and just kind of talked about everything. And he was telling me about how their video's going, and you know how Visha's cutting it up, like that. And like it's no different. Like it's literally the only difference is that like I don't get a check every month, and like he doesn't ask me about new product stuff. Like that's it. Like we still talk just the same amount. We still it's like I said, man, it's professional. Like it's not weird. Like it's cool.
It's funny how rare that is in BMX.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many brands out there that will like, you know, they're like, okay, well we'll just let go of this guy, and we'll let go of this guy so we can pay this guy more, and all right, cool, this guy's off, and then you know, it's just, I don't know, man. Like I'm so fortunate. Yeah, okay, so maybe you get on a brand and they're like, hey, we'll give you $2,500 a month to ride for us. And you're like, hell yeah. But at the same time, they're like, your contract's till the end of the year and you might get cut off. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And not to say that like if I was offered the situation, like what I would do, you know, because I've never been in that situation. You know what I mean? But like if I were to ride for those brands, I'd be like, damn, dude, like I could be cut off any second. I could literally be let go at any given moment because they want to give someone else more money. You know, and that's like freaky to me. Like I couldn't imagine that, you know?
I think that and I understand why a large paycheck's always appealing, but I think a lot of people in BMX and skateboarding, I'm sure, everything, people want like as much money as they can get. Yeah. And I think it's much more beneficial in the long run to try to do something sustainable that makes sense. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, $700 a month for 5 years is more money than $2,500 a month for
1 year.
You know what I mean?
And having a job afterwards. You know? Having a job, and that you're
we've seen so many brands come and go, and we'll see more go. You know, and you've been in the game a while. I've been in the game a while. We've seen this a lot, man. Yeah. Just imagine if when Levi's was in the game, paying these guys good checks. Yeah. Like, I like to think they knew it was going to end eventually, but imagine if they were buying houses and that the mortgage was contingent on this Levi's check.
Yeah, and that's just being smart with money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's why it's like not to talk shit on that, because I've never been in that situation where I've been offered a crazy amount of money to ride for a company, but like not to say that if I'm like, you know what, man? Like, hey, they're offering it to me. Like, I'm gonna run it as long as I can. But like, it would just suck to that be a bike sponsor. You know what I mean? And be like, dude, I'm depending on this. You know, so
it needs to be something weird.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, like I said, not saying that I would never do it, but it's just I'm very fortunate that I've never been in that situation, that I have guys that back me up for my for life. You know,
and the thing is, money gets to such a weird topic when it comes to being a rider and whatnot. And people get really weird and uncomfortable about money. And at the end of the day, like, you have to make it. It sucks, but we all have bills. To where it's like, if a dude's riding for a company that I don't think is very cool, but they take care of him, it's like, I get it, man. Like, I might not like this at all, but you got to do what you got to do.
Well, my thing is, like, you know who Ryan Clements is?
The skate dude.
Yeah, for the border. So I listened to his podcast a little bit ago, and he talks about whenever he brought Nike in for Skate Park Tampa.
You're talking about
Tampa Pro
9 Club?
Yeah.
I saw he was on that. I haven't listened to it.
Yeah, so I listened to it. It's really, really good if you should live in it.
He's smart. I've talked to him a few times. Really
he's
smart
from Florida. I go ride his driveway at his house and all this stuff. He's super cool. But anyways, he talks about bringing Nike in for Tampa Pro and how everyone was like super weird about it. He's like, listen, like, if we can take their corporate money and we can do really, really cool shit that for our industry, then there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't know, Gatorade comes to me and like, hey, we want to sponsor Swamp Fest. Here's 50 grand. I would be like, dude, I'm about to throw the coolest jam I've ever done in my entire life, and it's going to be the biggest thing ever. Like, you're not going to go, all right, cool, I'm going to keep like a 45 of it and I can use that 5 grand. You know, it doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? If you take that money and you do cool shit with it, then by all means do it, man. Like, BMX is so small, and like, not saying that like guys need to do more or whatever. Like, that's not for me to say, you know? I'm just saying if I was in that position to where I had an energy drink company, I'd be like, listen, y'all got deep pockets, let's do some cool shit. Like, let's do the craziest thing ever that everyone would be like, yo, Monster, they're the sickest. They just threw the sickest contest ever, or the sickest jam ever. You know what I mean? Like, whenever Red Bull used to do events with their athletes, I thought that was so rad. That was so cool, because it's like, the rider is like, hey, I want to do this event. I want to do, you know, or whenever Red Bull got involved with like Ghetto Street. Like, that's so sick, man. Like, and I feel like that corporate companies can do great things for bike riding, you know? It's just, you have to take that money and do cool shit with it. Don't be greedy and just keep it for yourself and be like, well, I'm set up. Fuck everyone else.
They need,
you know, like,
they need direction. That's the thing, is they need direction.
Yeah.
And you know,
and that's the riders. The riders need to step up and do that, because they're the ones that they're going to the rider and going, what should we do? Like, you're our guy. Like, what should we do with this, you know? So it's
Well, I mean, you could argue the exact same thing in a positive manner, obviously, about Jerry Batters at Vans.
Oh, 100%.
Vans is a big corporate company with corporate ownership.
100%.
And they have this middleman that gets it. So there's events like the Pro Cups, there's video projects, there's trips, there's cool stuff happening. Yeah. Whereas if the wrong guy, we've seen it before, man. I've seen, like, watch the fall of DC.
Yeah.
You know, look at all the team managers and stuff they've had in there that, like, have no connection to BMX, and it just goes to shit.
Yeah.
Like, you need that, otherwise corporate money gets wasted. Yeah. You know, it can go a long way, but it can get wasted just as easier, much easier.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and even like bringing up the Vans thing again. Like, whenever I was talking to Jerry about Swamp Fest for next year, he's like, "Yo, I want in. Like, let's do some cool shit. Like I want to be involved. Like, I like doing events. You like doing events. Like, let's do some cool stuff." And I was like, "Dude, hell yeah! Like, let's do it." You know what I mean? So, I think that's like, I'm big on events. Like, I think events are like the way of. I think that's the biggest thing in BMX, because if you go to a badass event and like you experience that's a memory that's gonna be burned in someone's brain forever. Like, it doesn't matter if, like, it just has to be. I think the bigger the event and more awesome it is and more people are involved, you know, I think that's the big thing.
You know, Florida really embraces events. I've been out for even I hung out with you there, one of Dave Brumlow's contests. Yeah. And like, it was huge. And it's a random amateur contest. There are so many people out there, you know, and it's rare, because this day and age, the internet, social media, everything going on, people don't really go to shit that much. Yeah. Like, I don't think you've ever been to one, but even like the Vans Street Invitational, they do at the park in HB here. Like, that contest is badass. Yeah. Granted, the park doesn't change. I get that it looks a little bit stale, looks similar, but at the same time, you're bringing out Garrett Reynolds, Chad Curley, Dennis Anderson, the A-list upon A-list to ride this park and absolutely kill it. Yeah. And you look around at the bleachers and they're empty. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like,
well, that's California.
That's California, but that's a lot of the world.
That's a whole different monster.
But that's a lot of the world right there. Yeah. A lot of guys just don't go to shit.
Yeah. And it's I don't know, man. I mean, Florida's a weird thing, because it's like we're like so secluded, you know? Like, we're so secluded down there in the South that's like, we don't, like, if someone throws a jam, we're going, because there ain't much going on. You know what I mean? It's like, and also, like, I feel like for me, like, the more effort you put into something, and if you need to make people want to go. Like, damn, like, I gotta go to this. Like, I have to be here. This is amazing. You know what I mean? And I think that's a lot of it, is like making it, you know, that's why a lot of people come to these US Open things. They're like, yo, we gotta go. It's so sick. It's the best, you know? Like, and so I feel like that's a big thing of it too, you know?
I think an example of that is I haven't been to Swamp Fest.
Dude, you're blowing it, man.
I know, and I feel that way. No, but it's exactly what you say, you know? It's just like, I'm sitting at home watching coverage, like, oh, God damn it.
Well, and that's why next year's gonna be so much bigger. That like, because I know that happens, because it happened the first time. I did one time, and 1,000 people showed up, and I was like, holy shit, there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then I did it again. There was 2,500 people there.
Yeah.
And this year, I'm like, dude, like, people are coming. Like, so many people were like, yo, I wasn't there last year, but I've got to be there. Like, dude, I went on my Instagram like the day after, and it was literally just every single thing was Swamp Fest. Like, every single post. And I was like, dude, man, like, that's awesome, like rad, like, you know, and like I don't, and it's a festival. That's what it is.
I know
like,
that's a lot of work for you.
Yeah.
Do you embrace it? I mean, it's so much work, and I think it's one of those things as well. And I've put on events, and I know how it goes.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, it takes so much weight off your shoulders. But it's almost like people rely on you to do it.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about that?
Well, I don't mind the work. I love it, man. Like I was raised in Florida, like you just gotta be tough or die, man. Like that's the thing, like, you know what I mean? And it's like my dad works his ass off every single day.
What's your dad do?
He does landscaping in Florida, and it's brutal, man. Like it's brutal, and I see the dude go out there and do this every damn day, not one complaint, and for like not a ton of money, you know what I mean? But he does it to support his family, and I look at myself and I'm like, I'm going to complain about going out working for 3 months to do a huge jam for all these people. Like, I'm a pussy, man. If I don't even at least attempt to do something, like I'm wasting my bike riding career if I don't do this. Like I'm wasting the potential of like I could do something so much bigger than myself. Like so much bigger than myself, man. And I see, and the biggest thing is that like it's already happened, so everyone's there. They know what to expect. So for me, the hard part's done because everyone knows about it.
Yeah,
they all know what to expect. All I gotta do is execute, and people show up.
You got to give them a date, and they'll be there.
Yeah, exactly, and that's like in I don't know, man. Like it's just a no-brainer for me. Like it's just there's not even a fact of like, okay, like maybe I shouldn't do it. Like it was a lot of work. Like screw that. Like what am I, a bitch sitting at home? Like no, man. Like no, it doesn't go like that. I'm gonna get my ass up. I'm gonna go do a badass jam, and a shit ton of people are gonna be there, and it's gonna be awesome.
So you plan on keeping that going for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I mean, as long as I can.
Yeah.
Unless something happens, you know, like God forbid. Like I don't know, man. Like my goal is like so Ronnie B has like been a huge influence with all this stuff because obviously he did Roots Jam in Orlando, you know, and all that stuff. But he said the highest attendance at the very last Roots Jam was 5,000 people. And like my goal is to beat that. Like I want to bring more people to Central Florida than Roots did, and that's like.
So you want to break Ronnie's heart?
Yeah, pretty much. And I told him that I was like, yo, my goal is to beat your record, and he's like, do it. Like I want to see it happen. Like let's do, like, you know, and it's just like. It's such a positive thing, man. Like, it's so, like, you go there and you're like, I saw so, like, dude, Dave Volker was there and I didn't even see him. There were so many people there.
That's cool.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was guys like Rob Dalecki, Stu Johnson, the guys there that they were just there to hang out. Like, they weren't working. They were just like, yeah, I just wanted to come. Like, I just wanted to come hang out. And, like, that's what I want to do, man. That's what I want. I want people to, like, be like, dude, this is rad. This is seriously, like, I don't want it to be like a contest where it's like, yeah, it was cool, but, like, this was kind of weird, or this, well, I wish this was there, or I wish the course, like, dude, I want it to be, like, the biggest, like, I just want it to be, like, the biggest, most epic thing ever. Like, I want it to be open to everyone. I want people to, there's no sponsor money, and there never will be. Because I don't want anyone showing up to this event being like, oh, well, you know, I can make some money and, like, you know, like, maybe I'll just go so I can see if I can win. No, screw that, man. Like, there ain't no prizes. There's nothing. If you're there because you want to be there. Like, that, and I feel like that's pure. Yeah, you know what I mean? And I want to keep it as pure and as awesome as possible, man.
So when brands sponsor the event, what do they do?
They give money so we can build the course.
Meaning there's no prize money.
No.
Okay, because you said no sponsor money. I'm thinking you need money to create.
Oh, I mean prize money.
Gotcha.
Prize money, not sponsor money.
Okay.
No. No, whenever the brands give us money, like it literally just goes like I mean, dude, the amount of money that I did Swanfest for was literally a quarter. It was what these guys win at first place at these events. You know what I mean? Like, I don't make a lot of money, but like I took every last dime out of my savings account and every single thing I had to just do this event because like I know it'll be worth it. Like I know it'll be worth it, and like you know, I proved that it did, and it was awesome, you know, and I want to do it again, you know what I mean? So do
you pay all the guys that build and stuff?
Yeah, well, I do whatever I can. Yeah. Like, a lot of guys are out there for free. They're That's like, awesome. They're like, yo, like, I'll do whatever I can, but, like, I get, like, my only person I had to pay last year was Ryan Herbach, because I was like, dude, yo, I need you here the entire time to help me. Like, it was just me and him out there for, like, 2 months.
Yeah.
Like, just 2 people. Like, my dad would come after work every day. Like, and it was just us out there. But like, I built every square inch of that street course by myself. Like, you know what I mean, man? It was like, yeah, and it sucked. It was a lot of work, but I didn't have money to pay people. Like, I don't have the means to do that. Like, whenever people came out, I like tried to like buy a bunch of pizza and a bunch of beer, so people were like stoked. You know what I mean? Like, I tried to do what I can, but like. Everyone coming out there was like, dude, I just want to come help. Like, I like, and Dave King hit me up like right after Swampfest. He's like, yo, let me know. I want to come down. Like, I'll come down with my RV. Like, if I can stay. Like, dude, Cody Diggs was there for 3 weeks, staying on site for free. Just like, yo, I want to build. And I was like, cool, let's do it, man. Like, you know what I mean? And that means the world, man. Like, that's like. That doesn't happen at these other events.
No.
Like, was there someone out there on the beach for 3 weeks by themselves, like, just camping there for free, like, to work? Like, no. Like, and obviously it's a different situation. It's completely different, you know, and I'm not saying that's bad, you know. It's just a different situation. But, like, I just love the pureness of it, man. Like, it really, like, it makes me feel awesome. Like, it makes me feel so awesome whenever I see, like, the impact of these people. And, like, dude, I see so many people just like stoked. They're so stoked. And I'm like, this is what riding's about. Like, this is what it's about. Like, I want the guys that don't make a dime off bike riding at this event. Like, and I want them to be there because they want to be there. You know what I mean? And the guys that make 6 figures, you guys come too. Like, let's all do it. Like, just come have a good time. Like, when's the last time you went to an event and you didn't make sponsor money? Or you didn't make event money? Or prize money, sorry. Like, when's the last time you went to an event and you didn't walk away with any money? Like, come. Like, just come do it. It's awesome. Like, we burnt all the ramps. It was the biggest party ever. Like, it was just the best thing ever, you know? So.
Do you have a date for 2019 yet?
Yeah, it's March 30th.
March 30th.
Yeah, March 30th. So get ready.
Okay. I'm making a mental note right now. I'll be there.
Yeah,
man. I'll be there.
Yeah, it's fun, man. And it's like, and like I said, man, I just want every walk of life to be there and everyone to have fun. Like, that's all I want, man. Like, I just want everyone to have fun. And it like, and like, to like, I'll bring it up, but like, people on the internet fucking hated me for that stuff. Like, they hated me. Like all the hate pages, like Rodeo Peanut and Team Weed, like, they crucified me on the internet for Swampfest. Well, and I was like, I didn't reply. I didn't say anything because I was like, you know what? Like, if I give them the satisfaction of like arguing with like these little-minded people, like, they win. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're winning, you know what I mean? And like, dude, I have kids comment on my stuff all the time, like, fuck Swampfest, like, you're just out it for the money, all this stuff. And like, it's like, you guys don't get it. Like, you guys don't get it. Like, you weren't there. You weren't there. Like, you don't get it. Like, you didn't see me busting my ass for months and months and months and months and months. Like, and it wasn't, it just sucks whenever you see people that like bring negativity to stuff like this, whenever it's like, dude, you don't get it, man. Well, you don't get it. Like,
you posted one thing on Instagram where you sounded like an asshole. Yeah. But I totally understood where you were coming from.
Yeah.
And I think everybody kind of took it and ran with it.
Well, because Odyssey paid to have a wall built. They were like, hey, we want this thing. And people got hammered and they spray painted like logos all over the Odyssey thing. And I was like, yo, dude, like, this brand stepped up and like busted their ass. And like, I didn't offer that in a sponsorship. They were like, hey, can we pay even more money to have our logo on something? And I was like, yeah, man, like, you guys don't like, and it was Odyssey, not even my sponsor, like my like the competition for my sponsor. And they're stepping up and doing that. And I was like, hell yeah. And like, I was so stoked that they like,
it was a real positive thing that got flipped negative.
Like, and I was like, dude, that's so awesome. Like, hell yeah. And I see people just like shit all over their stuff and like deface their hard work. And I was just like, yo, like, don't be an asshole. Like, just don't be an asshole and don't spray paint the ramps, because these sponsors like helped out a lot. Like, they helped out a lot, and they're making something awesome, because without them, I couldn't do the event. Like, I didn't have them. I don't have thousands of dollars in my bank account. Like,
maybe a much toned down, smaller version.
I'm just one guy, you know what I mean? And like, and that was what sucked. And it was like, oh, people were like, oh, well, it means if we pay money, we can spray paint. It's like, no, dickhead. It means those guys that stepped up and actually busted their ass to make this event happen, you're messing up all their shit, asshole. Like, you know, like, and it just really sucked that people were just like, but it sucks because like, I get that like people on the internet, like, I get that certain people in the industry and stuff like that, like, they think it's funny and stuff like that, but they don't understand that like, there's real people behind the scenes of this stuff that are busting their ass to do really cool shit and then you shit on it, and then all the little kids that don't get it, they shit on him too. Like, what you're doing is affecting far more people than just your like little sliver of like people that are just jaded on BMX. Like, it's and that's what bothers me. Like, that's what bothers me, is that like it's not even for me. Like, I see other guys, like I see they posted a clip of Brad Sims the other day, like doing a wall ride, and they're like, yo, does it really count though? And I'm like, that dude probably busted his ass like trying this wall ride, and you guys are just like, huh, yeah, that sucks. That's lame. Like, I'm sorry, but that's lame. Like, that's so shitty. Like, there's absolutely no room for hate in BMX at all. Like, because we're all out here busting their asses doing what we can. And, like, for people to come in and just, like, talk shit on it or to, like, just pull people down in a negative way, there's no need for it. Like, there's no need. Because you might get it. You're the person posting it. Yeah, you get it. You think it's funny. But everyone else doesn't get it. And they think, oh, yeah, this guy sucks. We all need to talk shit on this guy. Like, this guy sucks. And it's like, no, like, I just think that there's no room for it. And I don't have tolerance for it, because, like, I'm a firm believer in positivity and being like, yo, we all need to come together and make BMX awesome, not, like, tear it down and just sit behind our computers and bitch and complain because we have to work a normal job and that we can't ride a bike for a living. So we have to make fun of the people that do ride a bike for a living. Like, that sucks, that sucks really bad.
I had a funny instance yesterday. So I was at a large corporate brand for a meeting that will remain unnamed during this podcast. I can tell you after if you want to hear it. But they work with BMX riders, skateboarders, moto, surf, and I have a contact there. He's a guy I've known for a long time, and he's trying to integrate the brands, get guys on trips together, BMX guys on going to a surf trip, whatever.
Yeah.
And his big thing is he just kept going on these rants about how people have crazy egos, which he's older than I am. He knows how it is. Yeah. And it's funny because he was saying, like, so he brought me in the back room, and the same company in-house has a big gaming thing where dudes are in there playing video games. And he introduced me to some dude. The dude's kind of awkward, stereotypical video game dude. And he's like, look at this. And it's that dude's Instagram, and he had like 5.3 million followers. He's some gamer dude. He's like, it's funny that I hang out with these skate guys and some of these moto guys and even BMX guys that have egos and think they're cool. It's like, no, this is the cool guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to, like, you're chasing social media, you're chasing numbers and whatnot. Like, this is who people care about. Yeah. This awkward nerd kid in our back corner playing a video game.
Yeah.
Like, we're not cool.
Yeah.
Like, that dude's cool. So it's kind of like what you were saying with, with the internet and whatnot. It's just all... It's easy to talk shit and stuff, but what it boils down to, it's like, the event you did was cool.
Yeah, yeah, and that's, and like, it just, yeah, I just hate, I hate seeing people torn down for, like, whenever they mean well. It's a good-hearted person that's just trying to do what they can, and they're out there busting their ass, just riding and trying to doing what they do, and people just shit on it, because you don't see that's a wave effect. Like, it starts out small, but, like, it resonates, and it keeps going and keeps going, because, dude, I get messages all the time of kids talking shit on Swampfest, all the time. They don't get it. They think it's funny. They think it's funny to, like, to just be like, hey, man, how much money you make from Swampfest? You're probably loaded now. Ha, 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 ha. And it's like...
Then they want you to respond and image grab it and send it to somebody and hope they'll post it.
Yeah, or they want me to go, man, like, you don't understand. No, it's just like... they just don't, like... I just think that there's no room for the rodeo peanuts, and there's no room for the team weeds. Like, BMX doesn't need it. We don't need it. We don't need hate in BMX. Like, we don't need hate. And especially, like, in the world nowadays, it's all like, don't hate people, accept everyone for who they are. But in BMX, it's like the worst it's ever been. Like, everyone is just hating everything, and it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, listen, like, I have a certain style that I appreciate, and I don't like a lot of stuff, but I'm not gonna go out there on the internet and shame this dude for just doing what he does. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, that's being a terrible human being. Like, that's really being a bad person, man. Like, that's being a really bad person.
I go to all these Vans events. I go to the Feast UCI events.
Yeah.
I spend time with a lot of walks of life in the BMX. I live in San Diego. So many guys live in San Diego.
Yep.
And it's like, dude, people are cool. Everybody gets along. Everything's cool. It's just like, it's random people online that nobody knows and whatnot. Like, honestly, like, 99% of the random jock contest guys, if they didn't know you and you met them, they'd love you, you'd love them, you'd ride together, you'd have a great time. Yeah. Like, it's just kind of crazy because what is actually happening isn't mirrored by all this negativity. And you're correct, because it does exist and it is out there.
Yeah.
But what's really going on, all the dudes on the deck here, you know, when you're on the deck next to Brandon Lupos, who just won third at the X Games by doing a cash roll bar spin or whatever, it's like, that dude's psyched when you ride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, everybody's good. We're all good.
Yeah.
Like, we just need, like, shut up, everything's good. We're, you know,
exactly. It's
tough.
Yeah, man, it's a weird thing.
It's a weird thing, and it almost makes BMX appear like this controversial negative thing, and it's like, nah, man, like, 98% of us are all good.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, and it's just my thing is that like they don't see that like their negativity spreads like cancer. Like it's like you're teaching all these kids that like it's cool to shit on pros, and that's not cool, man. Like just shut your mouth, ride your bike, and do your thing. Like, you don't have to, like, be all preachy and, like, do, you know, I don't know. Like, it's just, I mean, I probably sound like a hypocrite because I don't know. It's just, I feel like I do stuff that's shitty too, but it's like, you know, I try to just do the right thing.
We all do. I think we all end up being hypocritical.
We're human. We're human. You know what I mean? It's just that as long as you're conscious of it and be like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be a shitty dude. Like, then you just try to move along. Like,
I think you have to enter every situation you don't fully understand with at least an open mind and the ability to change your mind. You know what I mean? The minute you're hardcore, like, I would never eat meat. Meat is murder.
Yeah.
And then you are given more information or something changes and you start eating meat, like, then you're a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Then you're an idiot. Then it's like, no, just everything's chill. Just don't be so hardcore about anything.
Yeah.
You're open to change your mind when necessary. Changing gears, you getting married soon?
Yeah, November.
November?
Yeah.
You doing
November
it
16th.
Florida?
Yep.
Crazy gator white trash wedding or what?
No, it's like in like a little swampy area though. It's got like a bunch of like old like oak trees and shit like that. It's on the water.
You guys doing a big one or a small one?
I don't know. It's all up in the air.
Yeah.
It's weird, yeah. But we're figuring it out.
What's it like marrying Scotty's sister?
I mean, for me, it's normal. Like, it's normal now.
How long you been with her? 5 or 6 years?
I've been with Kelsey for 6 years now.
Yeah?
6.5 years.
Damn.
Yeah. Or no, yeah, just 6 years. Yeah, so, I mean, for me, it's not weird anymore. It's not weird, but at first, it was kind of like, it's definitely a crazy thing because, like, when people find out, like, the other day, like, Corey Martinez was staying at my house, and, like, I said something about, I was like, well, you know, Scotty this, and he's like, wait, like, why are you, like, he, like, I could see him kind of, like,
hadn't put it all together
trying
yet.
to, like, be like, wait, what's going on? And I was like, well, you know, Kelsey's Scotty's sister, right? And he's like, what? Are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, whoa, dude, this is... I was like, you didn't see her name on Instagram being Cranmer? He's like, well, I don't know. I just thought it was like a coincidence or something. Like
no, there's only one family with that last name.
But no, it's cool, man. It's rad. It's a cool thing because it was a little strange at first because, like, obviously, like, I'm the complete opposite of Scotty.
That's what I'm saying. You see Scotty and Maddie, and they're both like clean cut, maybe a little bit Guido, if anything, you know. And like,
and so yeah, when I first like met Kelsey's family, you know, like, I remember her dad being like, "Oh, you're a street rider, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You get invited to X Games?" And I'm like, "Well, no, like, I don't. I kind of film like videos. I don't really like." He's like, "Oh."
So you're not.
I can tell he was just like, "What the hell is wrong with who is this guy?" And but like now, especially with the YouTube channel stuff, like they fully see it. They get what, like, they get to see the videos. Like, okay, we're riding this curve, and then it's like I do a bunch of stuff on it, and then, you know, they're riding the way they do, and it's like, oh, okay, like now I see how he's good. You know what I mean? Like, he can't do a $1 million on a trip, but he does other stuff, you know? So, no, it's cool, man. It's actually weird because I'll mention like Garrett Burns or something like that, and they'll be like, "Oh, Garrett, yeah, we've known him for a long time. He used to come to skateboard." And I'm like, my in-laws not just know who Garrett Burns is, but they know him personally. Like, you know, and stuff like that. Or like, it's definitely cool, man. Like, for me, it's like, I always think about, like, I'll see like an old clip of Scotty at the Metro Jam, and I'll be like, "Kels, were you there? Did you guys go to that?" She's like, "No, we didn't go to that. I don't think we went to that one." And I'm like, that's so crazy. I'm asking my fiance if she went to this Metro Jam because of her brother. You know what I mean? So it's like, now it's normal, you know, but like there is definitely times where I'm like, Kelsey is like Scotty Kramer's sister, like the Scotty Kramer, like the guy that I knew growing up. Like that's the guy, you know. So Yeah, it's cool, man. It's pretty crazy. I mean, it's definitely cool, like, having your in-laws know what BMX is, but it's definitely, like, obviously their side of BMX is completely different than mine, you know what I mean? So it's definitely, sometimes it's like, well, you know, I'm doing this video. Well, what's the video for? Is it on YouTube? Well, no, it's not. It's not going on YouTube. It's like a full length, you know? Like, what's a full length? Well, like a DVD, you know?
Oh,
like,
you're married a BMX rider,
yeah.
huh? Oh, so he's pretty rich.
Yeah. No, I actually make no money, so.
Yeah. She will be supporting me, sir.
I've never been actually even invited to an X Games, so.
Like, I tried to go to watch, and they asked me to leave. What, did Scotty ever have to, like, put you in your place? Like, if you break my sister's heart, I'm gonna kick your ass?
No. I mean, it was pretty funny one time. We were joking around, and, like, I said, like, I was like, oh, that's what she said, jokes. And I was like, yeah, that's what she said. And he goes, dude, that's not funny, it's my sister. And I was like, what? Like, and he's like, I'm just messing around. And I was like, so it's pretty funny. Like, sometimes he'll say, like, they'll mess with me like that, but it's so normal now. Like, it's been 6 years, dude. Like, like, every time we get, like, I'm staying with Maddie and Scotty and Big Boy in the room, you know what I mean? Especially with the YouTube channel stuff, dude. It's pretty cool, because he kind of, like, helped my career. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have, like, you know, over 200,000 followers on Instagram because of the YouTube
crazy.
channel. You know what I mean?
Because you're not that cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, Scotty's super cool.
Exactly. Like, so, but it is crazy, because, like, obviously, like, I'm not, like, in that side of BMX, the YouTube channel stuff, you know what I mean? But, like, I can go to Scotty's channel, and I can just do my thing, and he's like, guys, this is why this is cool, because Trey does this. And then kids can kind of see that and go, oh, all right, I get it, you know what I mean? So I kind of try to use, like...
Scotty's a real positive guy.
Yeah, and I try to use that platform to, like, show kids, like, hey, this is what I do. Like, this is how I do BMX. And, like, and they get stoked, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh, you jump downstairs, you do, blah, blah, blah. So, like, it's kind of cool that they get to see a different side of it, you know what I mean? And, like, that they know what Shadow and Sabrosa are because of me, you know? Like,
with BMX going into the Olympics in 2020.
Oh God, here we go.
No.
I was waiting for the Olympic talk to go.
I don't want to get. I don't want to get too deep into it.
I don't care.
But no. What I was going to say is, I was talking to Kevin Peraza, and I'm like, you got to get with the Mexican government and try to get in there to represent Mexico, because you're a guy that does different shit.
Yeah.
I want people to watch this on TV and see a few different types of BMX. There's only going to be 9 guys in the first one.
Yeah.
You know, it's only going to be 9 guys, and right now 9 of them ride pretty much the same. You know, it's like, Kevin, you got to get in there and do some half cab whips or something, just to show that there's more to BMX than just this. Like, if a kid watches it and isn't into that style of riding.
Is his nationality Mexican?
I believe he was
not through the
He was
USA
born in the United States, but his parents were Mexican nationals, I believe.
Okay.
So I believe he has dual citizenship.
Yeah, I always wonder about, like, how that would work. Like, stuff like that. Like, wait, so if this guy's born here, like, is he?
It's pretty.
Is he that team?
It's pretty.
How does that work?
Pretty loose with the Olympics. It's kind of lame, I think. Like, it's not hard to be like, oh, well, my grandfather went to Poland once, so I'm competing for Poland.
Yeah.
Like, it's.
Yeah, I don't get the Olympic stuff at all.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't. Yeah.
To each their own, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I don't. I feel like it's. I mean, we were talking about it today. Like, they were talking about. I was talking with Corey Bowen and Biz, and they were talking about Darden, how he's doing the
China.
Yeah, he's doing China and stuff like that, and how they were talking about, like, they're like raising these. They, like, go to classes and they learn about BMX and they do this stuff, and I'm just like. They're like, and everyone was like, yeah, that's so cool, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I'll be honest, like, maybe I love BMX too much, like, maybe I love it too much, maybe I don't know, but, like, to me that's weird. Like, I don't know. I fully 100% understand it will open up BMX to more people. Yeah. I fully get that. And I get more people into BMX, and maybe there's more sponsorships. I get that. I totally get it. But I don't trust the Olympics, man. Like, the reason they're inviting you guys to the Olympics because they want your money. They want the views. They want you guys. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need them. Like, we don't need the Olympics. Like, we're not figure skaters. We're like, I don't know. Like, I feel like the Olympics just strips BMX of, like, all of what it is. You know, and granted, I don't know a lot about it. I don't know. This is just coming from an outsider's perspective, and, like, this is just coming from someone that's just some hick that doesn't know anything about Olympic stuff. But to me, I just feel like it's a very strange thing, and, like, it's not my BMX.
Totally.
Like, it's not.
Totally.
It's like, the reason I ride bike riding, the reason I ride BMX and what I do on a regular basis isn't that, and I just don't want to. I don't know. I just don't want BMX to be represented by a bunch of dudes that are like these weird guys with no bike sponsors that no one really knows who they are, but somehow they made it through this qualifier, and now it's like, oh, this guy is bike riding. And it's like, no one even knows who that guy is, and no one even really likes him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but he's representing the United States in bike riding. Like, okay, that makes no sense, you know? And it just, I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I'm just bothered by it. Like I don't get it. Like I just
think,
don't really.
You know, optimistically thinking, if anybody has a glimmer of interest in it, the internet's a phone away or reaching your pocket away to where.
Yeah.
I think it's important if you Google BMX that the media outlets have a responsibility as well as pro riders themselves to put it out there, have a responsibility to make sure more than ever.
Yeah,
the diverse riding is being shown as often as possible.
When someone Googles BMX, it should be Scotty's channel, because that's what they do. They don't talk about bullshit. They go to a skate park, they ride the skate park, they do tricks, they have fun, they show someone battling a trick, they land it, everyone's stoked. Man, that was awesome. All right, cool, we're gonna get out of here. That's bike riding. Like, that's BMX. Like, that's the purest form, man. Like, going to a skate park with all your buddies, trying some stuff, landing a few things, not landing a few things, battling a trick, landing it, everything's great, and that's it. Like, you know, like, that's, like, I feel like, that's why I feel like you can't contain bike riding. You can't contain it to, like, oh, this is an Olympic sport. Like, it's not. It's not an Olympic sport. Like, it's not an Olympic sport, and it's not ever going to be an Olympic sport. It might be in the Olympics, but it's not. It's not. To me, like, I hear about, like, you know, little Chinese kids that are going to school to learn bike riding. They're being trained every single day, and that sucks, man. Like,
yeah, it's gonna take the fun out of it.
To me, like, I'm like, that's not BMX to me, you know what I mean? But, like, at the same time, like, I'm not gonna be that shithead that's like, no, screw the Olympics, you know, that's not it. But, like, I don't know, like, I just feel weird about it. I feel weird about it, but, like, at the same time, like, I know Darden's over there, and he's getting money for it, and he's doing his thing, and he's just playing the cards that he's dealt, and he's doing his thing, and he's stoked on it. And hell yeah, go do it, man. That's awesome. Like, do your shit. Like, that's awesome. And I hear about other guys that are doing the same thing with the coaching stuff, and I'm like, that's awesome. Like, so I don't want to, like, completely shit on it. I just feel a little weird about it, you know? Like, but I want everyone to go do this.
You know, and I guess we'll see how it turns out, and it's not that far off. But I think a lot of your same arguments for being against it could have been used with the X Games, and that's just a staple of what we do now. And does it represent BMX as a whole? Absolutely not.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, but at the same time, it's like, oh, so ESPN wants to get involved and put us in an arena and put us on TV, you know, and it's just like, and everything's still good.
Exactly. And like, and I'm just and like I said, man, I know it's all gonna be fine. Olympics are gonna happen. More people are gonna BMX, and that's awesome. You know, it's just like that. I mean, I feel that way about BMX competition in general. Like, I feel that way about competition in general. It's like giving someone first place means he did better than this guy, and that's not true. Like, that's not placing a competition in BMX. To me, doesn't make any sense, because it's like, it's subjective. It's like, I hate to say it, but it's art. Like,
it's not like a high air contest.
Some people like that guy's riding because he has a cool color bike and he did one cool look back. You know, like, and you can't say that guy got last because he didn't put together a run and he put a foot down, and this guy wins because he went really high. Like, but that guy, no one really likes that guy. You know what I mean? So it's just, I don't know, man. I feel. Like I said, I love BMX so much, and whenever I see things that bother me, I can't help but be bothered by them. I can't help but be like, no, I mean, I get it, but like, no, that shouldn't, like, oh, like, then it's a weird thing, because it's like, I understand why it happened, but I don't want it to happen. You know, like, I get it, and I get that BMX needs competition, and I understand that, but like, I don't know, man. You can't replace a Garrett Burns tire slide. Like, you can't award that. You can't award it. You can't, like, Garrett Burns did a run at the Woodward qualifying thing, and it was awesome. Everyone cheered so loud for him to just ride around.
And that was when he did, like, the foot plant slider thing.
And it's like, okay, he might not have, like, made the top 10, but everyone's gonna talk about how awesome that was. You know what I mean? And I feel like those moments are bike riding to me. Like, those moments where it's like, okay, maybe the guy didn't win, but he did, like, one really, really awesome thing. And that goes back to Swampfest. Is that's what, like, I give out, like, a first, second, third for the jam, and an 8-year-old won the dirt contest just because he made it through the jumps.
That's
everyone
awesome.
was like, he was like going and like pedaling in between the jumps. We were like, yeah. And everyone was losing it, and it was awesome. And then he won, and everyone was like, yeah, that's awesome. You know, and it's like, that's what it's about, man. Like that's it. Like that's that feeling. Like that's those moments, you know. And it's like I don't feel like the Olympics can have those moments. Like I just don't feel like there's no soul. Like it's a soulless thing. But on a different subject, I get it. I just don't. I'm not into it. You know, like it's just not being. I care too much about BMX to see it like doing different things. Like I just love it too much. You know what I mean? So it's weird.
Wrapping things up, final question: who's your favorite rider of all
I
time?
forgot about this one. Vic Murphy, probably.
Yeah.
Original, creative. One of the first Peckless street riders. First guy who's doing like lines, street riding. Iconic. No one else can ever emulate his style, ever, period. Like, whether you like it or not, but like, there's nobody on planet Earth that can do a 1 foot tabletop like him, ever, period. Like, and I respect that. Like, I really like I said before, man, like, originality and creativity, like, goes way farther in my book than like any trick, you know? And it's, to think about like what he did in the early 90s, and like he made a bike company and he did his thing, you know, and it's like that's like the real like warrior, like that's like the real, he's in it for life, and that's awesome to see him like still riding shows and doing it for a good reason and going to Africa and doing shows for kids, and it's just like that's awesome, man. That's so rad. So yeah, I'd probably say Vic Murphy, but I mean like honorable mentions, like I really loved watching Davey Watson ride. Like he's one of my favorites, even though he's like 4-peg street rider, dude. Like
I would have never guessed that you were a big Davey Watson fan.
I love it, man. I love it. Like I love his style. I love his like. I love that. I like when guys are like a little bit sketchy, but like they do crazy shit. You know, like I really like that. Like his Shola section is one of my favorite sections of all time. You know,
man, he was so good. I mean, I'm sure he still is so good.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's up to these days, but
I saw him riding a complete bike with no grips on in Chad's Instagram the other day. Or like it was a while ago, but I saw like it was like a picture of him with, like no grips on his bike, and I was like, holy shit. So yeah, I don't think he's on a very good path, but I love his riding. So.
I hope he's good, man. He's badass.
Yeah.
Total
so
badass.
I mean, I there's a bunch of different riders that I love. I mean, I don't know. I always like the weird minority ones that like kind of slip through the cracks, like Davey. That's like, oh yeah, that guy was really good, right? And I was like, yeah, he was awesome, you know. So Josh Stricker's another one of my like all time favorites.
See, that's
all time favorites.
See, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Vic Murphy makes sense. Davey Watson's out of left field for you.
I love that. That's cool. That's awesome. I love that. Like
yeah.
But yeah, man, that's
All right, Trey. I think we're good. You got anything else you want to get off your chest?
I haven't drank soda in 65 days.
Really?
Yeah.
What about a beer?
No. Never.
Ever in your entire life?
Never. Ever.
Funny story. I was at a dinner once, like, and during Interbike, went out and it was like mountain bike guys, like Vital mountain bike guys. Mm-hmm. And they're all, mountain bike guys are pretty much all BMX fans. Yeah. But they don't know anybody or know anything. Yeah. And one of the guys was like, man, I really like Trey Jones. It's like my favorite guy to watch. No, you'll like this. You'll like this.
I'm mountain bike guy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And
cool.
I'm like, yeah, man, Trey's awesome. And he's like, is he just like fucked up all the time? And I'm like, no, Trey doesn't drink. And he laughs. And I'm like, I'm serious.
Yeah, he's actually completely sober.
That
makes it even worse.
There you go.
That makes it even worse.
All right, Trey. You good?
Yeah.
Let's party. Man. Thank you, sir. All right, that does it for today. Be sure to follow Trey on Instagram at Trey Jones Sucks. TreyJoneSucks. There's only one S collectively between Jones and Sucks. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, just Google it. You'll find it. And until next week, please remember, it doesn't count if you don't pull the rollback. Thanks for listening.